Hey everybody, David Guerra here. Welcome back. It is episode 48 of Leadership Minute. And I'm going to slow things down, go a little bit slower, so it's going to last a little bit longer than a minute. But we're going to take a little detour than what we've normally been doing. We've been doing traits. Now we're going to start really getting to some other thinking and doing a couple of other things a little bit different than we have been. So, for episode 48 of the Leadership Minute, we're going to talk about strategic level thinking and action. Now, strategic level thinking and action, every leader needs to be, well, thinking not just of what's going on at the front lines and not just what's going on to support the front lines, but every leader needs to be looking at the big picture, the strategic level of the operation, the strategic level of the organization. And by strategic or strategy, I mean you're looking at the big picture and you work your way down to the tactical level. That is the tip of the spear. That's where your customer-facing side is. That's where your frontline troops will always be. They're going to be performing the tactical level operations. Now, strategy and strategic level is where all the plans come into play. This is where all the ideas come in. This is where things happen. And then they start getting refined down to the point that the person down at the front lines can do what they need to do to be successful. And that's your job as a leader, is to make them successful and for them to become new leaders. But how do you do that? Well, obviously you keep your eye on the big picture. You keep your eye on the strategy of the organization, of the team, of the group, of the department, of your section. It doesn't matter where you fall in line, you've got to look at the big picture. And as a leader, you must live and work by that, by looking at the big picture. Because again, if you're not doing it, if you're not keeping your eye on the big pieces, the little pieces are just going to fall off to the side. You're never going to find them. And that's guaranteed. Now, as a leader, you have to successfully convey that big picture down to the tactical level. Sure, they're doing it, but you know what? Sometimes it helps if those people know why they're doing what they do. So you've got to get them, you've got to basically tell them, look, this is the organization strategy, and this is how you, at this point in time, in place, in this position within the company, is going to do what needs to be done. That's your job as a leader. Keep them informed. Communication, constant communication, and a two-way communication. Not a monologue, but a dialogue. That's the only way it's going to work. Now, once you made that part happen, you now have to bring it back to strategic level thinking and action. You have to be thinking at that top level. You have to be aware that what it's going to take to ensure that things are happening. And if there's trouble, you start fine-tuning it. It's like I said, it's kind of, look at a funnel. It's wide at the top and it's very narrow at the bottom. Well, down at the bottom, that's where things are happening. And up at the top, you're adding everything you need to add until it works its way down. And you take some things out and you add some new stuff. But you know what to do because, again, you're there constantly monitoring, managing, and maintaining. And obviously, you're constantly leading those people. So don't forget that. Now, here's something to try. You've already told those people, the people that follow you, the people you're in charge of, the people you're leading, you're mentoring. You've already told them, look, this is the big picture. This is the strategy. Well, how about bringing them up? How about showing them to look at the big picture, to understand that, hey, even though they're down at the tactical level, the big picture is for them as well. That they know what the strategic level of the organization is. Bring them up to it. And then pretty soon, they're going to start thinking and living and working that way. And that's going to make them better employees. It's going to make them better followers. And in return, it's going to make them better leaders when their time comes. Now, so you'll start to see them get it. And guess what? You'll start to see how much more you get it. And I'm talking about looking things at a strategic level. So, you got questions? Ask me, dave@daveguerra.com, or follow me on Twitter. Ask me on Twitter. My handle's @DaveGuerra, and I'd love to hear from you. So, for episode 48 of the Leadership Minute, my name is David Guerra. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next time.